Roma tomatoes are a favorite among gardeners. These versatile fruits are cherished not only for their rich flavor, but also for their ease of cultivation. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or a novice, Roma tomatoes can be a rewarding addition to your garden. These tomatoes are easy to grow and produce a lot of fruit. They thrive in a variety of climates and soil types, making them accessible to gardeners everywhere. With just a bit of care and attention, you can expect a generous yield from your Roma tomato plants. Romas are known for their oblong shape and meaty texture, which makes them perfect for sauces and canning. Their dense flesh and low moisture content mean they cook down into a rich, thick sauce, ideal for pasta dishes, soups and stews. Roma tomatoes are also very nutritious. They are packed with essential vitamins and minerals that contribute to a healthy diet. Including Roma tomatoes in your meals can be a delicious way to boost your nutrient intake. They are a good source of vitamins A and C. Vitamin A is crucial for maintaining good vision and a healthy immune system, while vitamin C is important for skin health and the absorption of iron from plant-based foods. They are also a good source of lycopene. Lycopene is a powerful antioxidant that gives Roma tomatoes their vibrant red color. It has been linked to numerous health benefits, including a reduced risk of certain types of cancer and heart disease. Lycopene is an antioxidant that can help protect against some diseases. Regular consumption of lycopene-rich foods like Roma tomatoes can contribute to overall health and well-being. It's another great reason to include these tomatoes in your diet. If you are looking for a delicious and nutritious tomato to grow, Roma tomatoes are a great option. They are relatively low maintenance and can be grown in garden beds, containers, or even small urban spaces. They are relatively easy to grow, even for beginners. With the right conditions such as plenty of sunlight, well-drained soil, and regular watering, Roma tomatoes can flourish and provide a bountiful harvest. With a little care, you can enjoy a bountiful harvest of these tasty tomatoes. From planting to picking, Roma tomatoes offer a rewarding gardening experience and a delicious addition to your culinary creations, so why not give them a try in your garden this season? Tomatoes thrive in loose, well-drained soil. This type of soil allows the roots to grow freely and access the nutrients they need. It's important to ensure that the soil is not compacted, as this can hinder root development and water absorption. Loose soil also helps in preventing waterlogging, which can lead to root rot and other diseases. To test if your soil is loose enough, you can dig a small hole and see if the soil crumbles easily in your hands. If it does, you're on the right track. Before planting, it's essential to prepare your garden bed. This involves more than just turning the soil. You need to create an environment where your tomato plants can thrive. Start by choosing the right location for your garden bed. It should be a spot that gets plenty of sunlight and has good air circulation. Once you've chosen the location, you can start preparing the soil. This means breaking up any large clumps of soil and removing any rocks or debris that might be in the way. Start by removing any weeds or debris. Weeds compete with your tomato plants for nutrients and water, so it's important to get rid of them before you start planting. Use a hoe or a hand trowel to dig up the weeds, making sure to get the roots so they don't grow back. Clearing debris is also crucial, as it can harbor pests and diseases that could harm your plants. Take the time to thoroughly clean your garden bed, and you'll be setting the stage for a successful growing season. Work in some compost or aged manure. Adding organic matter to your soil is one of the best things you can do for your tomato plants. Compost and aged manure are rich in nutrients that will help your plants grow strong and healthy. They also improve the soil structure, making it easier for roots to penetrate and for water to drain. Spread a layer of compost or manure over your garden bed, and use a garden fork or tiller to mix it into the top few inches of soil. This will add nutrients to the soil and improve drainage. Good drainage is essential for tomato plants, as they don't like to sit in waterlogged soil. By adding compost or manure, you're not only providing your plants with the nutrients they need, but you're also helping to create a soil environment that drains well. This will help prevent root rot and other water-related issues, ensuring that your plants stay healthy throughout the growing season. Tomatoes need plenty of sunlight. They are sun-loving plants that require a lot of light to produce fruit. Ideally, your tomato plants should get at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight each day. The more sunlight they get, the better they will grow and the more fruit they will produce. If your garden doesn't get enough sunlight, you might need to consider growing your tomatoes in containers that you can move to a sunnier spot. Choose a spot in your garden that gets at least 6 hours of direct sunlight each day. When selecting a location, also consider the time of day when the area gets sunlight. Morning sunlight is usually better for tomato plants as it helps to dry the leaves and reduce the risk of fungal diseases. If you live in a particularly hot climate, you might want to provide some afternoon shade to protect your plants from the intense midday sun. If you live in a hot climate, you may need to provide some shade during the hottest part of the day. This can be done using shade cloth or by planting your tomatoes in a spot that gets some natural afternoon shade. Too much heat can stress your plants and reduce their productivity, so it's important to keep them cool during the hottest part of the day. Providing shade can also help to conserve soil moisture, reducing the need for frequent watering. Tomatoes are best planted after the last frost. Planting too early can expose your plants to cold temperatures, which can stunt their growth or even kill them. Check your local frost dates and wait until the danger of frost has passed before planting your tomatoes. If you're eager to get started, you can start your seeds indoors a few weeks before the last frost and then transplant the seedlings into your garden once the weather warms up. This is typically in late spring or early summer. Depending on your location, the exact timing can vary, so it's important to know your local climate and frost dates. In some areas, you might be able to plant as early as April, while in others, you might need to wait until June. Keep an eye on the weather and be prepared to protect your plants if a late frost is forecast. Once the soil has warmed up, you can start planting your tomatoes. Warm soil is crucial for tomato plants as they need a soil temperature of at least 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 degrees Celsius, to grow well. You can use a soil thermometer to check the temperature, or simply wait until the weather has been consistently warm for a few weeks. When planting, space your tomato plants about 18 to 24 inches apart to give them plenty of room to grow. Plant them deep, burying the stem up to the first set of leaves to encourage strong root development. You can start Roma tomatoes from seeds or transplants. Seeds are less expensive, but transplants give you a head start. If you start from seeds, sow them indoors 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost. Plant seeds about a 1/4 inch deep in seed starting mix. Keep the soil moist. Once the seedlings have a few sets of true leaves, you can transplant them into larger pots. When transplanting outdoors, harden off the seedlings first. This means gradually introducing them to outdoor conditions. Do this over a week or two. Organic gardening means avoiding synthetic fertilizers. Luckily, you can feed your Roma tomatoes naturally. Compost is your best friend. Mix it into the soil at planting time and add more throughout the growing season. Grass clippings and leaf mold also make great natural fertilizers. Use them as mulch around your Roma tomato plants. This will help retain moisture and add nutrients to the soil. Another way to feed your Roma tomatoes is with compost tea. This is a liquid fertilizer that you can make at home. Simply steep compost in water for a few days, then strain it and use it to water your Roma tomato plants. Organic pest control for Roma tomatoes is about prevention and natural solutions. Keep your Roma tomato garden clean and free of debris to discourage pests. Inspect your Roma tomato plants regularly for any signs of infestation. Hand picking is often the best way to deal with small infestations on Roma tomatoes. You can also use a strong spray of water to dislodge pests from your Roma tomato plants. For more persistent problems, consider using insecticidal soap or neem oil on your Roma tomatoes. These are natural pesticides that are effective against a variety of pests on Roma tomatoes. Section 6. Knowing when to pick Roma tomatoes. Roma tomatoes are ready to harvest when they are firm and red. The time from planting to harvest is typically about 80 days. However, this can vary depending on the variety and growing conditions. Gently twist the tomato to remove it from the vine. You can also use a sharp knife or pruning shears to cut the tomato stem. If your tomatoes aren't quite ripe when you pick them, don't worry. You can ripen them at room temperature. Place them in a single layer on a countertop or in a paper bag. Section 7. From vine to table. Storing and using your Roma tomatoes. Freshly picked Roma tomatoes are a real treat. Their vibrant color and rich flavor make them a favorite in many households. Whether you grow them in your backyard or pick them up from a local farmer's market, there's nothing quite like the taste of a freshly harvested Roma tomato. But if you have a large harvest, you'll need to store some for later. It's important to know the best ways to keep your Roma tomatoes fresh and flavorful for as long as possible. Store your Roma tomatoes at room temperature. Do not refrigerate them. Refrigeration can cause Roma tomatoes to lose their flavor and become mealy in texture. Instead, keep them on a kitchen counter or in a cool, dry place. This can affect their flavor and texture. When stored properly, Roma tomatoes can last for several days to a week, depending on their ripeness when picked. Roma tomatoes are very versatile. They are known for their dense flesh and low moisture content, making them ideal for cooking. They can be used in a variety of dishes, from fresh salads to hearty pasta sauces. Roma tomatoes add a burst of flavor to any meal. They are great for making sauces, thanks to their rich taste and thick consistency. A homemade tomato sauce can elevate your pasta dishes to a whole new level. Salsas and soups. Fresh salsa, made with Roma tomatoes, is a perfect accompaniment to chips or grilled meats. Tomato soup, on the other hand, is a comforting dish that can be enjoyed year-round. You can also roast them, which brings out their natural sweetness and intensifies their flavor. Roasted Roma tomatoes can be used in salads, sandwiches, or as a side dish. Grill them or stuff them. Grilled Roma tomatoes are a great addition to barbecues, while stuffed Roma tomatoes can be a delicious and impressive main course. For long-term storage, you can freeze, can, or dry your Roma tomatoes. Freezing. Roma tomatoes is a simple way to preserve them, and they can be used later in cooked dishes. Canning is another popular method, allowing you to enjoy the taste of summer even in the middle of winter. Drying Roma tomatoes concentrates their flavor and makes them a great addition to many recipes. This will allow you to enjoy your harvest year-round. With these methods, you can savor the delicious taste of Roma tomatoes in a variety of dishes, no matter the season. Section 8. Troubleshooting tips for healthy Roma tomatoes. Even with the best care, problems can arise. Watch out for yellowing leaves, which can indicate a lack of nitrogen. Wilting can be a sign of over or underwatering. Blossom end rot, a common Roma tomato issue, is caused by calcium deficiency. Amend your soil with crushed eggshells to provide a natural calcium boost. Remember, prevention is key. Regularly inspect your plants for pests and diseases. Early intervention is crucial for a healthy harvest. Section 9. Enjoying the fruits of your labor. Growing your own Roma tomatoes is a rewarding experience. Not only will you enjoy delicious homegrown produce, but you'll also gain the satisfaction of knowing exactly where your food came from. So roll up your sleeves, grab your gardening gloves, and get ready to experience the joy of growing your own organic Roma tomatoes. With a little effort, you'll be savoring the fruits of your labor in no time.